worry about it, guys. It's 2:30 a.m. This is what happens when you put us on this late at night. London taking on Leisure. Map number 3, final game of the day. And it's the lower bracket, semi-final. It's not really, it's just the final. The winner of this goes on to the grand final. They're going to be facing Endpoint, the champs. Champs are the champs. And Greasegun starting it out here. We're seeing London lose 2 players early on. Zlatan manages to return it on to Fuckerman. Eventually, Max Strafe with an amazing double instantaneously on the Greasegun, but he is traded out. Zlatan's traded out eventually, leaving it into a 2v2 with London going for the bomb plant towards the B site. That should be secured, and now all they got to do is play the time.
Yeah, both the Headbangery and Reese just going to be trying to work in together. As you said, though, the bomb going down, it's in a good spot for them to be able to just try and play time and run that down right now. So this is going to be a very tough one indeed. Peeking in from the back right there. It's Max Strafe that catches Headbangery trying to rotate in. And Reese, he's just looking to try and stick the bomb. Doing it from above. Very similar to what we've seen earlier on. But the knife, that's the perfect counter right there. Deleter comes in with the deletion right there of Reese.
He cut his Achilles tendon. I was right in the ankle. I think that's where the Achilles tendon is. I don't know.
Well, yeah, Achilles heel, so it makes sense.
That's the heel, not the ankle.
Same area.
Ooh.
You know, the
now
heel's like right behind it, right?
Now we're getting into technicalities. Where did he knife? That's what we need to know. I'm sorry, it's too late. It's just too late. We're descending into madness. Dark is looking at me.
I'm not you are, Mitch.
Dark is looking at me with the most just disappointed stare I've ever seen in my life. Nades early on from London going over towards the B side. Haven't netted anything, but they have slowed down Leisure in terms of taking control of this side. Smokes allowing them to come up through the double doors. And a full pincer. There's only one player here. Rejects has the hard... Well, Rejects
no longer.
I was going to say he has the hardest time holding down this site, considering they're swarming on him, but it's the nades. And without even seeing a player, London have got the bomb planted and a man advantage.
Yeah, I mean, Leisure only have the Gavers, considering they didn't fully invest into this round, so it's probably a position where they may as well go for the retake either way. But their chances of actually pulling it off successfully, not very high. I mean, if they can get a few kills, get a couple extra tokens, cause a little bit of reinvestment there for the London Esports side, I think they can be happy, but the chances of winning the round, they are quite slim. Max Strafe extends the advantage right now for London with a quick headshot on towards Fuckerman. Reese trying his best, will eventually actually pull one back and manages to actually get the assistance there, jumping across. A bit of a distraction for Headbangery to get one on towards Azuma. And they do bring it into a relatively close position, but Reese being left alone, only 7 seconds on the clock, he just doesn't have the time to work with. And he ends up going down there to Daxton, who was of course hiding in towards the coop. So a good play. They had a second player in that position as well, so even if he got the one, even if they had a couple extra seconds, it wouldn't really have been possible to actually win out that round. So well played by London, a good kind of, I mean, in CS you'd call it an anti-eco, but in this game it's still dangerous. No matter what round it is, there's never really a full eco.
This is the thing, right? You remember back to the comrade days, young old Fi and the boys. They would always say, you know, there's no point in taking an eco. There's no point in taking those base coins and popcorns and stuff when you can invest 1 token in. Now, it very much depends on the approach of the individual team. But a lot of them do agree that, you know, you just take that 1 token investment, allow the loss bonus to build up, and you probably pick up 1 or 2 of the rounds where you've got those weaker weapons. Because they're not that much weaker, really. You could play a little bit differently with them. Oh, the spams in the smoke. Reese doesn't stick around long enough to find that frag. And into a 4 versus 4. London on a 2-0 scoreline have gained control of the A site. Bomb only now rotating in to try and get that bomb plant. And turn the tide over into their favor. Reese sitting down, covering his teammates as they move on through. Hasn't spotted anyone just yet. None of the team have. Oh, this is a lovely stack. Zlatan leaves the corner. But even if they kill him at this moment, they're never going to assume Azuma is tucked up close. Setup's perfect from London. Leisure have spent so much time clearing out the rest of the map as they go in. There's 30 seconds left on the clock. Zlatan with a Tommy. Finds himself a little bit of damage. He's just going to tuck down behind this hay bell. And as they push in to take him down, this is where the crossfire comes into play with Azuma. Oh, they check the corner, but even still, it's just too strong. As Zlatan stands up, an easy double kill is found, and a Kar 98 KV spotted on Fuckerman, plus 10! But he's getting out of there. 14 seconds, no time to win the round, and it's just not worth risking the Kar 98K for a little bit of economy damage. Almost catching on the cross there, young Zlatan, who's heard him stepping around, and he catches him off guard. Easy upgrade, yeah, plenty of time. This is such a good start for London now. They've had barely any contestation in the sites they've went towards to start us off.
Yeah, a quick 3-0 beginning here on Manorhouse. Looking quite a bit better than it did back on map number 2 for sure. Leisure having a slow start, and this is the issue. When you're, air quotes, a mix, it's that's the issue. If you have a poor start, there's not a lot of strategy for you to fall back off onto. So it's a little bit worrying here for Leisure. But I mean, Manorhouse, a map that all of these teams should be more than capable of playing. So hopefully they will be able to step it up a bit. If they can pull out at least 4 or 5 rounds here on the Allied side, they would be pretty happy to be in a pretty decent position. But right now, Reese realizing that there is some players nearby pushed up in towards the mid house. It's actually Fuckerman who ends up finding that opening kill right now. Catches it on towards Latan, a very big name for them to actually claim early on in this round. But as I say that, Reese ends up getting caught there by Max Strafe, who's pushed up in towards the mid-house. So with that, brought back into a 4-on-4 very quickly. But it would still favour Leisure really over on, or rather London over on that Allied side, because of course it puts London in it puts Leisure in a position rather where they have to be. They have to be spreading out that defense a little bit more, so there is kind of some weaknesses and some openings that could be exploited by London. But still, they have to find them. Right now, they're making their way up through long, at least with one player. This is Headbangery in a great position. A free kill pretty much being found there on the Max trade. Fuckerman also getting a pretty much free kill onto Azume. Oh. Follows up and actually connected that shot there onto Daxton. It's Headbangery who finishes it off, but either way, great work to deny the bomb plant, and then Myland with the final kill. So it is going to be Leisure putting a round onto the board here relatively early on. They need to be able to keep this up. They need to be able to replicate that performance, though, consistently.
That's the tough part, right? Putting it on the board round after round. It's never going to be easy. For London at the moment, they've got the advantage, but it may slip away. On the Allied side of Manorhouse, things can really go your way. And the thing you lied to there, Dean, just a minute ago, is the fact that if you're trading, the map doesn't get any smaller, but you're left with the same amount of players. And that's the problem for you. Rejects just found a double opening on a nade. The Allied side attempted to cross the beam. That's a nice frag going over onto Mylan. Smoke. It's actually a smoke. Never mind. Thought it was the nade for the arch, but we're smoking it off. It lands a little shallow, leaving Mylan the opportunity to go out there and try to find a frag. Nade spotted coming out, which gives away his position. And because it's spotted, no kills found on the back of it. For London, being 2 men down this round is basically a write-off immediately, but they do find Rejects, the player that Nade killed, to open it up. And the leader catching Reese. This is starting to slip away for Leisure. Very quickly, they lose the advantage that they had accumulated early on, and they lose the B-bomb site, with the leader tucked up underneath in the barn. This is an angle that's not going to be very easy to be conscious of. You can see Fuckerman certainly not checking it just yet, and he could be caught off guard. Look at the leader's spot. They have no idea. They're looking away. They're looking towards the B-bomb site. He's got the opportunity to find so much damage here. Catch it. Oh, God, no! The leader! He's not got the ammo. Misses the shots that he did have. Fuckerman turns around and takes him out, and it's a 2v3. How has that happened for the leader? Max Strafe is spotted out outside the side as well, and although 1 kill is found, it's just not enough. Max has to pull it all the way back, and he does! MP40 takes down 2. A big mistake by the leader, but at the end of the day, it's pulled back in the round 1 by London.
That is going to be upsetting right there from Leisure. A very important round. I mean, if they were to make it to this final, I think they would just be so happy that they might all just explode. We were talking to Reese outside. He said this is the furthest that he's actually ever made it in a LAN in general, let alone a battalion LAN. So he is very happy about being in this position. But of course, they're doing their best. Down 4-1 here on map number 3, though. Not looking ideal. Yeah, great smoke if they were floating.
If Superman was playing on the Allied side right now, that smoke would screw him up. There's 2 up on top of roofs. But as we're talking about how disastrous those smokes were, we're talking about how great this round was for Leisure. I mean, just running all over them, really. I mean, it's such an individual performance. I don't know what's going on over there. I don't know if that's the battalion guys screaming. It doesn't sound like. I think someone's chugging. It was an interesting. I don't know. It's distracted me. It's too late for me, Dean. It's just too late for me. Go on without me. Or don't. No, I don't think I can legally leave you contracted to be by your side. So I'm just going to throw some random comments in there every now and then. And you're just going to have to deal. Why has Headbanger got a popcorn? Oh, no, he's an STG secondary. I'm actually blind. I was really worried for a second. I was like, have they all just bought and said, hey, Headbanger, we don't need you, bro. No, but he's got an STG, so that's okay. Look at the openings. Reese just wall bang down mid, followed up in the second kill. Fuckerman's found it onto Zlatan. And nade came through as well. Dean, the round's barely started and they're all dead.
Yeah, no, that was very convincing. The only kill so far being from Azuma right there is he did eventually catch Fuckerman pushed in towards the mid-house, of course. So, I mean, not much of a chance. Ends up actually going down to Reese, just shoulder peeking in from the barn. So, 1 kill, all he's allowed to get as a small consolation. 3 to 4, 1 round in the difference. London, though, being on the Allied side, if they can pick up even 1 or 2 more rounds, then I think they're not in a bad position. I think that'll be kind of a good half for them to work with. Well, let's see. Leisure, I feel like it doesn't matter how well they do in a specific half. They really seem to thrive on that momentum.
That's it, right? Leisure like to build those rounds up consecutively. We saw it on the previous map. We saw the lack of it really on the first, but they couldn't get a whole lot done.
And that makes sense as a mix, trading back and forth constantly, not having kind of new strategy to throw in to catch your opponents off guard. If it's just coming down to the aim duels constantly, it's not going to be a good spot for you to actually pick up those rounds consistently. As I say that as well, London do end up finding a quick 2-man advantage. Zlatan and Daxton been able to find a kill each, or rather deleter, my apologies. One of the D is either way. Daxton, he eventually joins in, so I was just looking at the future apparently. But it's Fuckerman and Mylant that do remain in a 2-on-5. Their chances of pulling this off very slim. And they're getting slimmer as, of course, that kill comes in from Daxton, leaving it all onto Fuckerman. 1 versus 5. He needs an ace clutch. It's just not going to happen. His chances are smaller than you, Mitch.
So his chances are perfectly average. And we'll see how it pans out for him. I disagree with your assessment.
Again, you've lied. Every time you say something's perfectly average. He does not have a perfectly average chance of winning this, Mitch. And you are not perfectly average, right?
Perfectly. Maybe not perfectly, but very close to it. We're on the dot.
What is it that you say?
Within 1 standard deviation of the median height.
This is how you know you're not average height. Fuckerman does at least save. That's a positive. Bringing over the Car 98 into this following round. He's left with 2 tokens. There's 7 on Headbangery, 6 on Reese, so maybe they can spread out the love a little bit, Mitch.
Well, one can hope. 5 to 3 for London at the moment. Obviously, lots of tokens. Take a look at how much they've got left over, even after investments. We're talking about 10. It's a lot more than you usually have in the bank. For Leisure, they've got a scope on Reese M. They've got a Car 98K on Fuckerman, so the ability to take those very early fights is certainly in play. The smokes coming through from London will counteract a lot of these one-shot rifles. Or both of them, really. The shot through the smoke not quite going to land for Fakel. Rejects tucked up close. He's got a big position to play from. But if they suspect... Oh, they don't suspect it at all! He gets 1. But not quick enough on the first kill to find the second. And into a 4 versus 4. London Esports have got themselves a bomb plant. Time ticking away. Leisure have got 2 scopes, or 2 one-shot rifles, I should say. Coming into the retake. Fucker misses his shot, but Reese's found it elsewhere. Milo dies to Daxton, and a pistol out. Not quite going to work, unfortunately. Reese should contemplate a save in a 1v3 with such limited time. That's going to be a free scope upgrade for London as they take a 6th round on the board. 6 to 3. Leisure have put up a good fight in the series so far, but with only 3 rounds on the Axis side, it's not quite going to be enough to pull it across the line. We need to see them taking the rest of these, really. I want to see a 6 to 6 scoreline. Manor can be a relatively even map. That has to prove to be right now.
Yeah. That's what I was about to say. Even if it can be a relatively even map, for it to be a relatively even matchup right now between these two, Leisure do need those final 3 rounds. So, yeah, it's not going to be an easy task for them right now. That is certainly an issue. If we actually see London even picking up 1 more round, then I feel like at that point they're probably looking at the ability to pretty easily close it out on the Axis side. Well, let's see. I mean, Leisure, they've proved us wrong time and time again. You can never count them out, it seems. The only issue is Mylant goes down early on. So that's a man disadvantage for them to try and actually recover from, working off of the back foot. Not a good spot to be in. Daxton actually extending that lead initially before eventually a trade does come in. But the bomb should get planted quite easily. Reese, although he is in barn, not able to do much with the smoke down. Eventually spots the head as it kind of peeks up a little bit. But again, not able to connect the shots. And at this point, kind of just forced to wait for his teammates now to rotate in so that they can work together for the retake.
There's London with the 17. It's a nice score line to play from. They're going to feel comfortable no matter how the half ends, really. With 2 left to play for, Leisure have to take it all. And considering how things have been going so far, it's not looking all too likely. Now it's about trying to counteract what London are doing, right? But the thing is, London constantly get in. I feel like their smoke usage has been so well used to gain that map control. And Leisure have never really had an answer. They're not able to play around those smokes or through them. And the nades, although we've seen a couple of good openings from Rejects in particular, most recently they don't seem to be netting a whole lot for them.
Yeah, no, I mean, it seems like we haven't seen a lot from the nades in general. It's because these teams are so used to them. Unless it's a map like Derailed where it's pretty much impossible to actually avoid them. Again, the nades do come in. A bit of damage being connected right there, but it's not going to be able to actually finish anyone off. And with no one from the Axis side being able to follow it up quickly, it will be Zlatan easily regenning back up to full. Right now, we do see London setting themselves up for what eventually looks to be a hit towards this B-bomb site, but it's not working out for them. Rejects and Reese able to find one each. Zlatan trying to do what he can, but he runs out of bullets. Gets one just about. But having to come in with that reload time now becoming a small issue, I would say. There's still 50 seconds remaining, so it's not the end of the world. But as Deleter goes down especially, it leaves Zlatan all alone. Left to try and pull off a 1-on-3 and to retrieve that bomb from the B-bomb site. Not an easy task. He's trying to force the 1 versus 1 versus the player up in Barn right now, though. So that's a good idea. If he can get this kill, then suddenly he's left in a 1-on-2. There we go. Actually gets it cleanly against Myland. Not one able to follow it up immediately from Leisure. So a 1-on-2 that is very winnable. But again, the time, he needs to get a move on and ends up going down as he peeks Headbangery. It is Finland that comes out on top. It's Headbangery to finish that round.
Hey, I like that, Dean. Sorry, I've just been dying for the last 2 minutes.
Yeah, no, Mitch stood up, walked off to the side, and just started coughing for a while.
I drank some water and accidentally inhaled at the same time. That's
I
how
always
you know
do
it's
that,
not
man.
going well.
Whenever I drink water, it ends up going down the wrong way, and I just end up looking really stupid in front of a bunch of people. It was like, how can you choke on water?
Yeah, it's liquid. It's liquid, man. You're not supposed to choke on liquid. Like 7-4.
It's meant to be liquid that choke.
Hey, I like that. I like that a lot. Card on the AK, aggression coming through from Fuckerman. Creates a little bit more space for himself, took it up to the wall, but Azuma eliminates him right away, and we're into a 4 versus 4. For London Esports, they're looking heavily towards this A site. Headbanger playing the most annoying angle in this game. If you've got barn control, this is just free kills for you. Problem is they've smoked at the right side, so we can't see a whole lot over towards Dark, and he's eliminated by Daxton. Spam through the smoke very successfully, leaving Leisure to try and retake B. They have no frag grenades to work with either. London looking for their 8th and finish off the half with a very strong scoreline.
Yeah, the 3v3. Leisure are going to struggle with this retake right now in terms of the utility. All that they have is actually that one smoke on towards Rejects. So they can potentially put that down, I would imagine, over towards Long, most likely. That would potentially be able to block off the scope there from Zlatan, but there's still a player up close. So it's not going to be easy beginning to move forward now. Indeed, only 25 seconds remaining. They've got to deal with the player up close on sandbags. It's Zlatan to find the opening kill. By that I meant to Hay Bales, of course, calling CSGO things at this point. Zlatan gets himself a second before eventually going down, and then it's Daxton to come in with the final headshot there on the Thompson. So that is going to be an 8-4 half for London Esports. 8 rounds on the Allied side. I mean, that's more than they could have hoped for.
It's all right. It's all right.
Yeah. It's okay.
Oh, what did you call the hay bales? I missed it.
I call the sandbags.
Sandbags. All right, fair enough.
Same thing, man. Same thing.
It works. It works.
I haven't cast the battalion in a couple of weeks, so it's CS
right
in my head.
Yeah, no, I get that. I get that. It's also, what is it, 3 a.m.?
3 a.m. Yeah, that's not
2:45. Yeah, it's not helping us out a whole lot. For London, 8-4 up. It's like we said. It's all right. It's a really good half for them. And now Leisure have got a lot of work to do. That aggression through from Zlatan on a round like this, numbers are what wins it. And the popcorn rifle not able to do enough to the grease gun. Rushing through the smoker. Max Strafe gets 1, 2, 3 on the board. It's a +15, even though it only says 10. They only swapped to him after he found the first kill. What an absolutely phenomenal play from him. A 4th as well. Looking for the ace and looking good to find it. Comes out, does a little bit of damage. Fakir is running. And Max Strafe is gunning. 18 kills on the board, and it's 18 for 6. I'm only just noticing that now. And to answer the question, I suppose Max Strafe has come in to answer the question that Reese asked us in the interlude of the previous game. Who is Max Strafe? He's the guy that's winning this game right now for London Esports.
Yeah, no, I don't think Max Strafe liked the BM. Fucker man with a quick headshot. I don't think he spotted that player up close enough. I'm pretty sure the shoulder was slightly showing, but Wouldn't have been easy to see. Still finds the kill. Okay. The leader somehow goes down. Fuckerman has to at least wait a while to regenerate that health, but now he's left in the 1 versus 1. Daxton has creeped out in towards the hay bales, though, so a position that may not be expected at this point. Fuckerman going to be pushing forward. Will he check him close on the right? Spots the shoulder, hits the quick headshot, and there it is. Fuckerman with a massive quad kill to pick up such an important round here for Leisure to keep them in the game.
Who is Max Strafe? Who is Fucker? That is incredible. 4 kills on the board. The man one-tap Max Strafe, stealing the ace away. And again, we're talking about that angle. It's the most annoying angle in the game to deal with. I can't think of anything that's worse than playing behind that artillery gun if you've got barn control. If you don't have barn control, it's very easy to split you and just take you down immediately. If you've got a nade to play with, it can be a little bit easier to work around. But even still, left unchecked, left unchallenged, it's going to be so easy for the player there to just head peek up, left and right leaning, and destroy you. Like pixel angles in Rainbow Six Siege. Just no one wants it. On 8-5, London should be 9-4 right now, but that last round, what a huge play from Fuck yeah, as we used to call him back when we were concerned.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah. I was like, oh, it's a French. No, it's just fucker.
Moudar, fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah has found himself one, but he's traded back immediately. The 2 main fraggers already out of the game. The leader in there with a second kill for the Axis side, but the aggression coming through might not be absolutely fantastic for them as the leader is dropped off camera. ECM looking for a little bit of combat out there on long, isn't landing himself a damn thing, and the nade's over, netting equally nothing, getting epilepsy, back and forth, but eventually it's going to be Mylan to Falls. It's to Zlatan, MP40 long range over towards the car, and he's driving his team to victory with rejects eliminating Zlatan. Opens up the B side a little bit. Because the rotations are coming in right now, right? You've got Daxton. He has to start worrying about A, or not. Okay, they're just gonna rotate A. Daxton's not there in time to stop them. As long as they push in through the barn, Reese finds one looking up back behind them. It's gonna be a B push. They find out where Daxton is, but they're split. Bomb should be planted nonetheless. I don't know if there's there is a weapon to be upgraded by by Reese. He gets an MP40 alongside a bar. Not a bad couple of upgrades as he runs on through. And now he's got the opportunity to hold very close range angles, peeks out and at least spots where Daxton is. Look at his health. 1 HP.
Yeah, fortunately, will be able to regenerate. Has more than enough time to get himself back into a decent position. And that smoke that Daxton threw down is actually kind of working against him a little bit here, because it gives the chance for Reese, I guess, to not focus as much on one position, able to use that smoke as a little bit of a wall. I mean, he still has to be somewhat cautious in case Daxton was to push forward through it. But as you can see, time beginning to get low now. He knows that, of course, he's not coming in towards the position. Reese just going to be flanking him out, and an easy kill being found. We heard the cheers coming in, of course. Reese going to be excited about that one. 6-8 now, 2 rounds in the difference. It was a very close one right there. It did seem like London were going to be able to find themselves the instant return there off the back of losing the opening round of the half, but a great round from Reese, able to clutch it out in the end. And as you can see, the buy actually, it is now going to be coming out pretty decently from London. Couple SDGs, couple MP40s, a Gewehr, then on towards Azuma as well. Then the issue is, being on the Axis side, you would hope for quite a bit more utility. All they have is 1 smoke at this point, with still 1.5 minutes remaining.
You wouldn't expect Leisure to make the comeback happen, especially not on the Allied side. It's where things are going to be so much more difficult for them to build up that momentum, as London should be able to shut them down when the likes of the nades start coming out. But you can see for now, with 1 minute and 10 left on the clock, there's no nades. There's only 1 smoke for the leader to potentially slow them down a little bit. He's playing over towards the B side, tucked in radio. So it's unlikely he even actually deploys that, as it would give away his position. A nice crossfire coming through from him. Alongside, who's it there, Zlatan, playing down at the barn. For Leisure, they're spread out and they're looking for control. They've left the bomb outside of A and are rotating to B. Yeah, there we go, Reese. Good call to go back and grab that bomb. Because I can imagine the comms there. All right, boys, I'm coming over to B. I'm gonna take the site. Oh, we haven't got the bomb. Nice shot by Daxton. He almost catches himself a second. But fucker now, ready for the kill. He's looking for it, trying to catch him off. Maybe head peeking down towards the trench. Not there. Clearing it round one at a time, 1 degree at a time. Eventually takes it. A knife from headbanging Reese onto Zlatan. And the round's falling apart for London. They weren't looking all too bad in it, but 3 kills in the space of 2 seconds.
Yeah, this round quickly unraveled for London and just continues to do so as Headbangery catches that rotation in through the B house. So with that, Azuma being left all alone, he's hoping that someone's going to make it a little bit of a mistake and give him an opening towards the retake. But I feel like even if he does manage to find one opening kill here, still being left on the 1-on-3, or rather in the 1-on-3 with 25 seconds at this point is... I'd say his main goal should probably just be to save. He has the SDG, he has the Gavar, he has a couple tokens as well that he could maybe donate over in the following round, get himself a bit of utility still, maybe have a token or two left over, so probably the better option. But he is seeing maybe if he can find a couple of exits, do a little bit further damage. Doesn't look like they're going to be exiting towards him though. You would imagine that, of course, Leisure, knowing that they do have the control back in towards the courtyard, they will just go ahead and save around that position. So there it is. Azuma going to be surviving the SDG, the Gavar being carried over. Economy's okay. As I said off the back of that, the weapons being saved over by Azuma, he should be able to just buy up his own utility and then still have quite a few tokens to actually give over to his teammates to boost up the overall buy. 7-8 though. 1 round in the difference. I mean, 3 in a row here for Leisure on the Allied side. A very strong start.
And this is what it's all about. These close games to define it. 3 maps, 8-7 scoreline. But it's a pause coming in at no better time. London are struggling to get rounds on the board now on the defending side. They haven't found their footing. And the foundations are about to start crumbling if Leisure overtake them. They still have lots of tokens left in play. A total of 9. Alongside all of the weaponry in play for Leisure right now, along with the fact that obviously they've got full nades, full smokes. Pulling the smoke to help them cross on middle off the bat. Lineup is already there for Max Scrape, so he might find a lucky wall bang down middle. Doesn't look like it's going to be all too likely. Bit of damage done, but no kill. And with that, it gives Leisure the ability to cross to B without it being read, without it being realized. Latan hasn't seen them just yet, and he backs off. The communication's going to be there. Nothing outside of A. No aggression coming up through middle. This is unusual for Leisure. So it is most likely going to make it towards the B site. The leader manages to catch him off guard and bail onto the site. Reese's not going to be happy about that one. And Headbangery, not the ideal weapon for that kind of side peek. A 2-man advantage develops for London. Rejects is still low. He hasn't regened health yet. I really don't like to see that players going out when they're below half. Especially not with how quickly you regen now.
Yeah, no, he used to take a little bit longer. I mean, maybe he didn't realize, of course, that he hadn't regen completely. You can actually see it yourself. Normally, it's kind of a teammate will eventually call it over to you. But it didn't cost them either way. So it is still the 5-on-3. Not a big deal at all, of course. 30 seconds remaining, though, here for Leisure to try and get something done. It's not looking great. They need to choose a site that they want to go towards, and the issue is all 3 players right now kind of grouped up around mid/outside of A. And as we can see on the radar right now, the bomb dropped over towards B house. So they don't even have time to make it to the bomb, let alone get that bomb on towards one of the bomb sites.
That's why they're just tucked in Manorhouse. They want to save these weapons over. They know that the chances of winning the round are completely gone. Reject spots one towards the bottom of the matter, goes over for the kill and finds it quite quickly onto Zlatan. And with that, London find themselves their first Axis round, locking Leisure out of it. In a 4 versus 3, though, it's not a very convincing one. Leisure just wanted to go for that save, having the scope left over alongside the Garants. The Rejects on an MP40 backup. I mean, you've got a really, really nice, well-rounded set of weapons to fight with there. Reese's left down to just the carbine, which is interesting because Fucker still has 2 tokens to donate. But he obviously decided he didn't want the bar or the Tommy. And certainly not the shotgun on attack on this map. Look at the aggression that's coming through early on from Zlatan. He's already in Manorhouse in the bottom of it, starting to aggress on further through. That could be really damaging for the offense. That much information given over. You've got a heavier stack on B. Nade over. Oh, man. Look how close the leader was to dying. It's 1 HP. Just about heals on the back up before the push comes in, though. We're waiting. Leisure just sat outside. All 5 players outside of B right now.
Yes, it seems like the nades either kill you or drop you to 1 health, Mitch. There's no in between.
No, there's no kind of... Yeah, you got like 50 HP tag. No.
I haven't seen them very often today. Not going to lie to you. Oh, Island gets 1 rejects with a headshot then as well. Deleter eventually pulls one back, and then it's Daxton in from second mid right there to catch one as well. The issue is for, of course, Leisure being on that allied side, they do need to get a bit of a move on right now. It's Fuckerman as the last man left standing, the leader. He comes in with a couple of quick kills, finishes it off with a headshot right there. 10-7 for London as they begin to chain a couple of rounds together here. A slow start for sure on the Axis side, but they're beginning to get things rolling a little bit more. As you can see as well, off the back of picking up that previous round, Leisure left it in a very difficult spot. Not going to invest everything, but they will put pretty much all their money. It's a couple tokens they keep, one for Headbangery, one for Reese. If they don't win this, though, 11-7, if they want to get the win then in regulation, they can't afford to lose another round. So it's not a good spot to be in. I have hiccups now. You had them before, now I have them.
This could be okay for oh, no, it's not going to be okay for Leisure. As Latan again with the mana regression catches them off on middle. You've got a double scope setup for London, so I was thinking maybe this is where Leisure catch them off guard by just straight on blitzing through to one side. But they abandoned the faster A strategy and allowed Zlatan to work it from on top of Matter with a second kill on the board. Eventually, Zlatan's going to be eliminated as Mylan catches him coming out the back. Oh, Reese. There's a player right on top of him. Dax backed off just a small bit, creating the angle that we see the fight coming from, with Reese spotted, and that being the bomb as well. This could be a bit of a hot spot for Leisure. They've got to regroup. And more specifically, Mylan has to regroup over to Reese. He's the only player that's found a kill so far, Mylan. Over on the Leisure side. So London still have lots of players floating around. The timing is so poor there. Daxton falls because of it. I mean, half a second earlier walking up those stairs, he probably wins that duel, but closing in the distance the whole time, then leaving Mylan to catch him off guard with a random prone. That's what we like to see. But Azuma on the scope, not able to be taken down, rather. Mylan, oh no. Failing to jump up on top of the sandbags to retrieve that bomb. And Azuma's now starting to regress on the scope. This could be dangerous for Mylan. He rotates to B, running as fast as he possibly can to try and get to the site. The cross is being watched, though. The leader misses the shot. 5 seconds left. Bomb plant going to be stuck. Mylan lying down to get it done. But a nice position for post plant taken by the leader. He should be able to catch him getting out of there. Great shot. And with that, London claim their 11th round. 11-7 now. Dean, this is not looking fantastic for Leisure. Ever since London found their legs, they've been running away with this Axis side.
Yeah, picking up now 3 rounds in a row for themselves. Leisure had a good Axis side. They had a good start here to their allied side, but beginning to fall a little bit flat. I think it was only, I actually can't recall the name now. I did spot which number it was. It was the 4th player down there on the Leisure side. Yeah, it was Mylan who actually found the 2 kills. Forgot the name for a moment. So he was the only one who was really able to get anything done at all right there. We are having a bit of an issue, I think, with the round.
No, so they've called a pause, but
okay.
The thing is you can't call a pause before the round ends. The way it's set up at the moment on the competitive servers, it won't work in matchmaking. It's only on these on these servers. Is that if you pause the game when you're in we're obviously in freeze time, so when players decide to run around, they're able to run infinitely until until the pause runs out. Yeah. Which is an issue because
you could pause, go pick up all the weapons,
exactly,
all the utility. Exactly.
So if you pause the game, you're not allowed to pick up weapons. Is essentially if you do that by accident, doesn't matter if you would have had time, you can't pick up weapons, because obviously that would just not be fair if you were able to go, oh, the scope's on the other side of the map and I accidentally defused. Let me just pause and go get it. So don't worry.
Technical issue. What was the technical issue? Oh, I technically should have had a Car 98, but it was on the other side of the map.
I forgot to get it before it defused, so I just, didn't want to risk it. I just thought, my finger hurts. Let me test it out by pressing W for like 10 seconds. Yeah, so we've got a tech pause coming through. This is going to be from Leisure. Realistically, at this point, they're trying to figure out what's going wrong. They need to. It's now or never. If you allow London to get 2 more rounds, it's all over. You're running in the tournament's gone, and they'll be finishing out in 3rd. Still getting a share of the prize pool. But after the phenomenal run they've had here, they don't want to be cut short like this. They want the grand final. They want to take end point on. It's a best-of-5 grand final team. Oh, that nade. As soon as Fucker jumped, he realized he was fuckered.
Yeah, no, pretty screwed. Not gonna lie to you. There's not a lot that you can actually do to avoid the nade if you don't realize before it lands. If it hits the bounce and then you're like, oh, nade, you're just screwed unless it's just a little bit too far away.
He jumped into it as well. So, like, it landed as he was jumping
I mean, it was inevitable. It was like
Thanos.
Thanos.
Yeah, exactly.
So he may as well have.
Oh, wow.
Free kill right there for Rejects. Thompson probably wasn't the best weapon to have, but Azuma, of course, wasn't looking. He was focused on long, so either way, it works out well. It gives the chance now for Leisure to split in towards this A-bomb site and really recovers what was looking to be a pretty difficult round. As I say that, though, a kill coming back in from Daxton right there to trade onto Rejects. Deleter finding Reese in the meantime as well, so it ends up with just Headbangery left to try and headbang his way through a massive 1v3 clutch. And I don't know, I feel like he's going to be a little bit dizzy after attempting this one right now. Flanked out from long as well. Also having to be cautious of Baron. Knows there's a player around the trenches. They're just everywhere pretty much, Mitch. Yeah. Not a lot that he could do. It's going to be 12-7. Map and serious point right now from London, as they are only a single round away from taking themselves into the grand final to try and pick up revenge on Endpoint.
We need 5 consecutive rounds from from Leisure if they're going to be taking it across the line. It doesn't look all too likely right now, Dean. I got to say, I agree with you there. This should be a rematch, London and Endpoint. Well, we'll see if Leisure have got what it takes. They're coming into this round with a plentiful utility supply. Watching out for the nades early on. Nothing going to be spotted moving in towards green, so they feel confident across to B. Reese's playing a very aggressive game, but the bomb drops it, realizing maybe he doesn't want to carry that forward. Zlatan in the opening. The leader with the scope as well. It's starting to fall apart for Leisure. A 2-man disadvantage in a round that they need more than anything. The flank from Fuckerman lands an opening. He's going to switch over to the STG, getting up into Barn. It's a smoked out. He's got an angle, though, if he drops. Smoke's about to dissipate as well. Unlucky that's Zlatan. I mean, he's getting aggressive so often there towards Manorhouse. I'm surprised they haven't decided to start countering it by playing a little bit more aggressive around Manor and waiting for him to obviously get cold feet. 3v2. It's close for sure for Leisure, but London have got enough players spread out. The only weakness is towards B. I think Fucker might have spotted that, but the bomb's position doesn't allow them really to rotate. And I think Fucker's going to get caught off from spawn. Does he check towards the van, the car rather than spawn? It looks like he's conscious of it though.
Yeah, it's Zlatan, I believe, that's coming in from behind right now. Max straight then as well, as you said, in towards the car and spawn. He can maybe pull something in favor of Leisure, but it's not going to be easy. It takes a couple of shots, eventually goes down into Fuckerman, and as I said, that final player wrapping in through mid actually does end up coming around and getting himself a quick kill there on the sniper. So suddenly it is just